prepare for trouble and make that double.
I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I'll be the greatest master you ever seen. Put the smack down with my Pokemon, I mean. You choose you, I choose me. Now let's see who the winner gon' be. You bring out Swerve, now that's a start. I bring out Pikachu, known to give you a spark. Now who's next? I break out the Pokédex. Let loose Machamp and watch him flex. Hit Chan with the special punch. Put all others out to lunch. Hitman lead, skill so quick. Knock them out with the high jump kick. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon combat. Round 2, what you gon' do? My psychic Pokemon have you scared to choose? Abracadabra, alakazam. This ain't no magic trick. You better scram. Gengar with a dark mind. Meditate with Jinx and mine. Fire Pokemon now, that's the worst. Charizard's 5 spin, it really hurts. Flamethrower, like by many. If you grasp Pokemon, they like by any. Venusaur, Solar Beam, Beedrills, Poison Sting, Pincers, Guillotine, get thrashed by Nidoking. I put the smash down.
Basically, Pokemon consists of 7 different colors, 7 different elements. These elements come in Pokemons as well as energy. You have your colorless energy, you have your grass energy, you have your electric energy, you have fighting energy, you have fire energy, you have your water energy, and you have your psychic energy. Each one of these energies, like I said before, they have Pokemon that coincide with these energies. Like with electric, you have Pikachu, he's an electric Pokemon. You have Charmander, who is a fire Pokemon. You have Squirtle, who's a water Pokemon. Rattata, who's a colorless Pokemon. You have Mewtwo, who is a psychic Pokemon. And then Machop. Oops, wait, Machop, who is an energy Pokemon. And then I'm missing grass, just a second. And then there's Bulbasaur, who's a grass Pokemon. Each one of these Pokemon that you see in front of you are what we call basic Pokemons. Basically, what basic Pokemons are exactly what they are. They're the basic stage that comes out before you can evolve into anything else. I'll explain evolve later. The way you can tell that they're basic Pokemons, if you look up into the left-hand corner of the cards, you'll see right here it says basic Pokemon. Also, the way that you can tell what type of Pokemon they are is you see this little icon right here in the corner, which is a circle. In the middle of it, it has what element they are. Like Charmander has a flame, just like the fire energy does. Squirtle has a water inside a circle, just like the water energy does. This little symbol, these little numbers right here that has HP next to it, basically what this is the Pokemon's hit points. Some people call it health points, some people call it HP, some people call it hyper points. No matter what you call it, basically what it is Pokemon's lifespan. Basically what it is when he runs out of these hit points, he's knocked out, which means he can't fight anymore. Each Pokemon has different attacks. The attacks are right here under their picture, as you can see, like with Charmander's Scratch. With this emblem right here, he does Scratch for 10. Now this circle right here that's colorless, like this energy down here, that doesn't mean that he needs this specific energy in order to do this attack. Basically what this means is that he can use any color energy attached to him in order to do this attack. Okay, now keep in mind everything that I explained to you guys, you might not kind of understand it right now because it's just words and it's explaining how the cards demonstrate and how they work. But for the most part, once I show you the demo game and we go through the steps, you guys will see that it's pretty easy to catch on. Okay, he does an attack for 10 and basically this is the damage that he does to another Pokemon when he does the scratch attack. Some attacks require more energy than one, like his only require one. His require one, but it has to be a fighting energy. Like Machop, he does a low kick for 20, but he has to have a fighting energy attached to him. but he only needs 1. And for every circle icon that's next to that attack, that's 1 more energy card that he needs attached to him. Like Bulbasaur's attack, he does Leech Seed, and he needs 2 grass energy attached to him in order to do this attack. Once he does this attack for 20 to the defending Pokemon, he heals himself for 1 counter. Each counter represents 10, so basically he heals himself for 10 points of damage every time he uses an attack. So if he's damaged for 10 points of damage and then he does his attack, it heals him back up completely. Then what you have, after attacks, you have what they call weaknesses. Most Pokemon have weaknesses, some of them don't have weaknesses. Basically what the weakness does is any damage that a Pokemon takes from that specific weakness that he's weak against, he takes double. Say for instance like Charmander, he's weak against water. That means if Squirtle here, because he's a water Pokemon, he attacks Charmander, Charmander would take double. So if he hits him for 10, he would take 20. Then you have what you call resistance. These particular Pokemons don't have resistances, but this one does. Rattata, he has resistance. Basically what he's resistance against is psychic. You see the little circle, it's purple and it has a little icon like this energy. That means he's resistance against Mewtwo's attacks, but he's only resistance up to -30. What this means, if Mewtwo attacks him for 30 points of damage, it does how much? 0. Okay, but if he attacks him for 40, how much does it do? 10. Right, there you go. If he attacks him for 50, he only does 20, and so forth. So you subtract that. It's like he's immune to it, but only up to -30. These are basic Pokemons. Some of them evolve into bigger Pokemon. They're the same Pokemon, they just get a little bit bigger. I'm going to use a couple of them as an example, like Squirtle. He turns into War Turtle. He also turns into Blastoise, but right now we're just going to use the first stage as an example. He's the same Pokemon. The only difference is that his name changes and he gets bigger. He has more hit points. The way you can tell what card he attaches to, because it has a little picture of Squirtle and also says up at the top that he evolves from Squirtle. So it tells you exactly what you need to do with the card when you get it in your hand. So if you're not sure, just read the text and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Then they have what they call the second stage. So far, this is the highest stage that Pokemon's evolve into. It's stage number 2. At this point, the Pokemon's at his max, pretty much as he can get. He has more hit points, like with Machamp, he has 100. Right here at the top, it tells you he evolves from Machoke. He has another attack, which costs more energy. He needs 3 fight and 1 of any other color. He's still weak against Psychic, and his retreat cost is 3. He does more damage, which means he does 60 instead of 20, which he was doing when he was Machop. Also, second stage Pokemon get, second stage Pokemons get what they call a Pokemon power. Basically what Pokemon power is, right, it's an extra move. Basically it happens automatically, or you can just use it as often as you like, depending on what the text say. Like with Machamp, basically what his Pokemon does is it does damage to the other person's Pokemon for attacking him, because he's like a big rock, so he gets really big and really hard. So if, say for instance, if Charmander, bless you, so say for instance if Charmander tried to scratch him, he would take 10 damage just for scratching him. He would hurt his hand because he's so hard. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. When you can evolve a Pokemon, you only want to evolve it when you have enough energy to be able to attack with him. Unless, of course, you're going to use him for a big wall, because that's what he becomes. Say, for instance, if you evolve Machamp all the way to stage 2 and he doesn't have the four energy he needs to in order to attack, he just becomes a big wall. And he just, the opponent's just hitting him until you knock him out. So what you do is you wait till you have enough energy. That way, once you evolve him, he's ready. He still can attack. He can still put the smash down. And then you have what you call trainers. Basically what trainers do is they help you defend your Pokemon. There's different kind of trainers. I'm just going to go over a few so you guys can get an overview of how they work. There's trainers like Switch. Basically what Switch allows you to do is it allows you to switch your Pokemon without having to use the retreat cost. Remember I explained to you sometimes you have to discard energy in order to run away? Basically what this is kind of like a Pokeball. It's like instead of the Pokemon actively running away himself, you use the Pokemon to bring him back. So it's free. You don't use any energy up doing that. There's trainers which are called like energy removals. Basically what energy removals does is it removes energy from a particular Pokemon, because the object of the game is to build your Pokemon up really big with a lot of energy and to keep your opponent from doing the same. As long as his Pokemon don't have any energy and they're weak, you can knock them out quicker. Because the more energy they get, the more they can evolve them, the quicker they can evolve them, and nobody wants to fight against a big Pokemon. There's Gust of Wind. Basically, Gust of Wind is the same thing as Switch, except you use it against your opponent. Because sometimes what will happen is your opponent will have a very big Pokemon that you can't take out with your regular Pokemon, and he has like weak Pokemon on the bench. That allows you to switch. So that way you can bring in the weak Pokemon that you can knock out really quick, and then you get a prize card. So it's like a tactical card, strategic card.
Storm, can you only use one of these cards in a game? Or?
No, you can use up to 4 in your deck, and say for instance if you're playing a hand and you have 1 Squirtle down and you have 4 power pluses, you can put all 4 on him. You can build it up so he does 50 in one shot. Boom, knock Pokemon out. A lot of times you'll find people who play like that and they win very quickly.
I'm standing here with Storm, the Pokemon Master, and rumor has it that you were kind of looking in on some of my trading.
Yeah, I was taking a peek.
Okay, I started with the Jungle Booster. What? And check it out. Look how I did.
Well, I gotta see the cards before I can tell you how well you did. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many cards you get, it depends on what you get.
Oh, you mean so if I have a whole bunch, it doesn't matter? Or it could not matter?
Yeah, it could not matter. It just depends on the quality of the card and what cards you actually have.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hand them over to you. And you just give me a little synopsis of how I did, okay? All right, here we go.
Take a look at them here. Let's see. Pikachu is common. Eevee, he's okay. Let's see. Mankey, he's all right. You got a lot of those. You got a lot of duplicates. No foils at all.
Okay, so that's bad.
Yeah, you want to get foils. For the most part, foils are like the most collectible cards.
You know, I could swear I had some of those at one point.
Yeah, you did, and you gave them away pretty easily too.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah. You got to watch out. Some kids will take advantage of you. They'll tell you they don't really want it, and then you'll sell it for cheaper.
So, like when they were all gathered around me and saying, "Oh, do it, do it, do it," I shouldn't have.
Yeah, you should have kept on to it. Probably could have got a better card out of it. For the most part, your best card is probably Taurus.
Okay, so my best card is Taurus.
Yeah.
And other than that,
you got a lot of commons. So you started out with a couple of pretty good cards, but you wind up getting just a whole bunch of commons, which, I mean, people give them away all day long.
All right, so, well, I learned my lesson. I won't do that again. And you witnessed, actually, me losing pretty bad.
Yeah, you actually traded again. You gave another kid 10 regular cards for another foil, which kind of gave you another lead back, but then you just kind of gave it away. So.
Plus, too, my foil had scratches on it, too, so I didn't notice.
Yeah, scratches can bring down the quality of the card.
Now, if you're getting cards to trade or getting cards to play, is there a difference? I mean, what's that like?
There's a big difference in getting the cards to play, and depending on if you're trading. If you're just trading to collect the cards, for the most part, you just want to get the really expensive foils. But if you're trading to build a deck or something like that, sometimes it's okay to get duplicates of commons and stuff like that, because your cheapest cards are your basic Pokemon, and if you're building a deck and you're learning how to play the game, you need a lot of those.
Okay, so what if I'm trading and I'm unsure of a trade? What do I do?
Well, if you're unsure of a trade, basically what you want to do is either have your parent there looking in on you, somebody who's in the store, a specialist like myself, or a collector who's there who's actually running the tournament, the trading or whatever, and basically ask them, or you can even ask your friend if he's there with you. You ask him, what do you think, but always be sure of a trade. If you're unsure, always ask someone else.
Throw in some tips and techniques that are going to help me be a better player.
Well, basically, to begin with, you want to try to get a lot of cards. You want to use your duplicates. You never want to trade cards that you need, because you're trying to complete a whole set, and right now I believe there's 152 cards. So what you do is you get the duplicates that you don't need, and you trade for some of the cards that you do need. When you're trading, like I said before, if you're not sure for a trade, you either ask your friend or a specialist who's on there. For the most part, you can check on the cards. Some of the cards have little symbols at the bottom right-hand corner. Circle represents common, a diamond represents uncommons, and then the stars are rare. And basically, you don't want to trade a rare card for a couple of commons, unless of course you're building a deck or something like that.
So there again, this reiterates the fact that there is a difference between collecting cards for trading and collecting cards for playing.
Exactly, there's a big difference.
Let's find out exactly how you would go about trading, and if somebody had something you wanted, how would you do it, and what would you look for from the other person trying to get something from you?
Well, for the most part, it depends on what card I'm looking for. But like I said, say for instance, if I'm looking for a Raichu or something, which is a foil electric Pokemon, you don't want to trade like foil cards for regular cards, because it will never add up, because a foil card is way more valuable than regular cards. You also, what I would do if I'm trading for it, I would offer less than what I'm actually wanting to get it for, because usually what the person, when they're offering, they're going to try to get you out of more cards. So you just got to kind of wheel and deal back and forth. You already know what you want to trade it for, but you also know that they're probably, gonna want a little extra. So you just kind of meet them halfway.
What technique would you use if you saw a card that somebody had that you wanted, and it was an experienced trader? What's something that Ztorm would do?
Well, for the most part, I would probably just try to find out what I think the person who's trading the card and what they want. Like, it's like playing poker. You want to find out his weaknesses. And you say, well, let me see your cards for a second. I got this card I want to trade you. Look at what cards. And he goes, oh, okay, he needs this guy, he needs this guy, and this guy. And you just kind of round it out. Well, I'll give you this guy and this guy if you give me this guy. And usually they go, oh, okay, because I need those two guys. The last 3 games, for the most part, she won because his deck didn't run well. Like I said, sometimes you can have a very good deck and a very experienced person, but if you don't get the right Pokemon and the right combination, it's just like a fighter having a bad day. Sometimes you just can't get that knockout punch, and so she beat him on that one. The second one, he just basically overran her because his deck ran very well. And she's not as experienced, so she couldn't stop him. There was ways that she could have, but like I said, she lacked experience, so she couldn't take the pounding that he's putting out. The third game, she had opportunities, many opportunities, and that's where the experience comes into play. Because if I was playing that deck that she had on that particular game, I could have beat him instantly. Because his deck runs very well, but at that point in time, he had a really bad pull, like the first game. And she kind of gave it up when she sacrificed a couple of her cards without thinking about it first. The turning point in that game was when she brought out her Farfetch'd and wasn't able to attack with him. What she should have did was placed another energy onto her Onyx, let him knock her Onyx out, because she was 6 cards ahead of him, 5 cards ahead of him. She didn't have to worry about losing that guy, because there's no way he would have been able to catch up. And once he would have knocked out her Onyx, all she had to do was put her Farfetch'd out, put an energy on him, and Leak Slap for 30, and that would have knocked his Gyarados out. She had 1 prize card, and she would have went home with all the stuff. And that would have been, wonderful. I love to see people like the underdog win, and I was very proud of her for even going that far. She did a very good job for someone who has 1 day worth of Pokemon experience.
Hi, this is Storm from the Pokemon Combat Center, and this is the news. The Pokemon world is hot. There's a lot of neat new things out. You got the Burger King collectible gold cards. The movie's out. There's collectible cards for that, stamped by Warner Brothers. You got the fossil packs. There's new Pokemon out. You got the collectible Pokeballs. They got a different kind of animals in them and Pokemon. There's the stuffed beanies, like Poliworld here. Then you have the Burger King collectible card list. There's so many pages. Check it out. It's hot. I'm gonna open this up and see what we get. Guys excited? I know I am. See what we get here. So you push the little button here. Okay. It's Pikachu. Okay. Next thing, let's see what else we got here. Let's open one of these booster packs. See if we can't get a Rare foil. Okay, let's see if we can't see what we got here. It's got a side duck, slowpoke. Non-foil Dragonite. Okay, that's a good catch. Let's see. The Grand Festival. Got the Warner Brothers collectible card from the movie. There's a new movie coming out, by the way. It's due in Japan. It's not out here yet, but it's coming soon. Oh, Electabuzz. How's about that? Isn't that neat? And that's the news. Gotta catch them all.
Prepare for trouble and make that double.
Put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smash down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I'll be the greatest master you ever seen. Putting the smack down with my Pokemon, I mean. You choose you, I choose me. Now let's see who the winner gon' be. You bring out Swerve, now that's a start. I bring out Pikachu, known to give you a spark. Now who's next? I break out the Pokédex. Let loose Machamp and watch him flex. Hitmonchan with the special punch. Put all others out to lunch. Hitmonlee, skill so quick. Knock him out with the high jump kick. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. Round 2, what you gon' do? My psychic Pokemon have you scared to choose? Abracadabra, Alakazam. This ain't no magic trick, you better scram. Gengar with his dark mind. Meditate with Jinx and mine. Fire Pokemon now, that's the worst. Charizard's fire spin, it really hurts. Flamethrower, like by many. If you grasp Pokemon, ain't like by any. Venusaur, Solar Beam, Beedrills, Poison Sting, Pincers, Guillotine, get thrashed by Nidoking. I put the smash down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. I put the smack down with my Pokemon
and make that
Pokemon
double.
combat. Pikachu,
I choose you.
Raichu,
I choose you.
Squirtle,
I choose you.
Wartortle,
I choose you.
Mew,
I choose you.
Mewtwo,
I choose you.
Dugong,
I choose you.
Vaporeon,
I choose you.
Goldeen,
I choose you.
Seeking,
I choose you.
Bulbasaur,
I choose you.
Ivysaur,
I choose you.
Venusaur,
I choose you.
Charizard,
I choose you.
Jigglypuff,
I choose you.
Wigglytuff,
I choose you.
Dratini,
for trouble. I choose you. And
Very,
double. I choose you.
Pidgey,
for trouble. I choose you.